Let us start our discussion now. Only we are having a track 2 syllabus only for this weekend examination. Let us see what is meant by a solid. It is a hard substance having definite shape and size that we call as a solid. You know that if you are taking a solid, all the solids will have the atoms or molecules and they are separated by a fixed separation. And all the atoms or molecules in a solid, they are vibrating with a fixed amplitude. But whenever we are supplying the heat energy, the amplitude of vibration increases, and thereby the separation between the molecules also increases, which leads the expansion of the solid. And basically the solids are classified into two types. They are isotropic solids and anisotropic solids. So these are the two classifications. Isotropic solids or amorphous solids we are calling. In the case of the isotropic solids or amorphous solids, the expansions are same in all the directions. So here what is meant by direction? So generally direction means we used to take along the x-axis, along the y-axis, and along the z-axis. So if the expansion along the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis are same, in that case we can say those type of the solids are comes under the isotropic solids. And in the case of the isotropic solids, if you supply the heat energy, the shape of the body will not be changed. The shape of the body will not be changed on heating because the expansions are same only. Whereas in the case of anisotropic solids or crystalline solids, that is expansions are different. If you see here, maybe the expansion is same along two directions, but that expansion is not same along the third expansion. So see here, x and y are not same, but y and z are same. Here along the x-axis, along the y-axis, expansions are same, but not along the z-axis. Here if you see, x and z expansions are same, but not equal to y. Here all the three expansions are different. So these type of the solids we are calling as anisotropic solids. How to identify whether the given material is belonging to the anisotropic crystalline solids or crystalline solids. So whenever you can observe the technical term crystals like a diamond, quartz, sugar, sodium chloride, immediately we can say they belongs to crystalline solids. Now if you take the crystalline solids, the average value of alpha, the average value of alpha value, average value, that you can say as alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z upon 3, whereas gamma is equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z, and beta is equal to 2 by 3 into alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha. These are all the things are known to you already. Whereas in the case of isotropic solids, we know the relation. What the relation we know in the case of isotropic solids, beta is equal to 2 alpha, gamma is equal to 3 alpha, or else beta is equal to, in terms of gamma also we can express, or else in terms of gamma is equal to 3 by 2 into beta. All these formulae we can use for isotropic solids. Isotropic solids means these are the relations we need to remember. And here some of the substances are there which contract on heating. One among the example, the best example, and it is very useful for our next topic also, that is in the expansion of the liquids, that is water from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. whenever you are supplying the heat energy to the water which is at 0 degrees Celsius up to 4 degrees Celsius, instead of increasing the volume, here generally you know that when you supply the heat energy, volume, most of these solids increases their volume. But for the water, instead of increasing the volume, there is a decrease in the volume. And one more example is the cast iron is one more example for this, and silica glass is one more example. That means all the substances will not expand on heating. Some of the substances also there which contract on heating, That is a very important point. Next one is the first model generally we used to say, that is the linear expansion. Linear expansion. So linear expansion means it is related to one dimension. If you take the one-dimensional body, what are the one-dimensional bodies? One-dimensional bodies means like a thin wire. If you take the thin wire, thin rod, they can be treated as one dimension. When you supply the heat energy to the one-dimensional bodies, then the length of the solid will be increased. So whatever the length of the solid that is increased, that we call as a linear expansion, that is denoted by delta L. So linear expansion means delta L, delta L. So here, on what factor does the linear expansion depends? The linear expansion of a material is depending on, linear expansion is directly proportional to initial length. Linear expansion is directly proportional to rise in temperature. And if you remove both of them, what you will get? Delta L is directly proportional to L into delta theta. So delta L is equal to the formula what you will get is L into alpha into delta theta. So delta L is equal to L into alpha into delta theta. This is the very important formula which we are going to use for the entire expansion of the solids. And here the diagram has been given here. Here before heating, the molecules are here. After heating, the molecules are like this. Or else before cooling, this is the way. After cooling, this is the way. So you can see the molecular separation increases, which leads the expansion of the material. Here, which leads the expansion of the material. So for the entire discussion, what the points we have to keep in the mind from the second slide is, all the materials are not expanding when we supply the heat energy. Some of them are contraction will be taken place. Those are 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius is one of the example. And second one is the linear expansion expression. So the linear expansion delta L is equal to L into alpha into delta theta. This enough. These 2 points are enough. And the delta L is directly proportional to initial length, and it is rising temperature also. It is also depending on the nature of the material. Okay, right. Now, next, let us move on to the next slide. Here there is a problem is here. Let's see the problem. We will solve the problem. So what is the problem here and how to solve it? Let us see one by one. Just a minute now. We will do some model problems now. One by one, let's see. Now let us solve the first problem. See here what the data that give, how to do this problem. A metal rod having linear expansion coefficient 2 into 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius. So what the information they gave? Alpha value they gave. They gave the value of alpha. Alpha value they gave. How much value of alpha? Here they gave the value of alpha. Alpha is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius. This is the value of alpha. Has a length of 1 meter at 20 degrees Celsius. So here initial temperature they gave that is 20 degrees Celsius. It is the initial temperature. And the initial length also they gave, that is 1 meter. This 1 meter equal to, I can say it has 100 centimeter, or else I can take it as 1000 millimeter. Sir, what is the need of conversion of our mm, sir? Because here, if you read the question completely, then only you can know. Now, the temperature at which it is shortened by 1 is. So, what the value they gave here? Shortened by is the key point in this question. Shortened by. It is shortened by. This is the question they gave. Shortened by. Shortened by means this is minus 1 So what I can say L2 value. L2 value I can take it as 999 So you can use the formula. What the basic formula you know? The basic formula is what? Alpha is equal to delta L by L into delta theta. This is per degree Celsius. Just substitute the values. What is the value of alpha they gave? So 2 into 10 power minus 5. This is equal to. This is delta L. Delta L is shortened by they gave. As it is shortened by they gave, you can put minus 1. This is millimeter upon. Initial length is how much more? 1000. Units also you put to avoid the confusion. Multiplied with delta theta. So here m on mm cancel out. So what you will get here? Delta theta. Generally, what is delta theta? That is the final temperature. That is not known to me. Minus initial temperature is how much? 20. This is equal to what you will get here. This if you do it, then what you will get here? Minus 1 by 2 into 1000. This is a 10 cube. So 10 power minus 2. So what you will get here? 100 upon 2. This is equal to 50. This is the 50. So is it minus 50 or plus 50? It is minus 50. So if you want to find out the x value, where x is the final temperature at which the length is shortened by 1 that equal to minus 50 plus 20. This is equal to minus 30 degrees Celsius. So what is our option? Option 3 is correct. Okay, ma? In this problem, the important point is shortened by. It is the key point. They said shortened by means the length you have to take it. The difference in the length is minus 1 you have to take. Don't take 1, it is minus 1. Okay, ma? It is minus 1. That is a very, very important bit. Generally, student feels some confusion here. So to avoid the confusion, we have to do this problem in this fashion. Okay, right. Now let us move on to the next model. The next model, which is the very important model only. This is the most important model. So in the case of this, if L1 and L2 are the lengths of the two rods of coefficient of linear expansion alpha 1 and alpha 2 respectively, the condition for the difference in their lengths, the condition for the difference in their lengths, that is the question they gave. Here the key point is difference in their lengths. The difference in their lengths is to be constant at all temperatures. So if the difference in the length is constant at all temperatures, what are the models? So we have to remember. What are the models we have to, what are the points we have to keep in mind whenever the difference in their lengths is constant at all the temperatures. Sir, what does it mean, sir? Let us have a review. Suppose it is the first metal of length, I can take it as 10 centimeter, and second rod is of length that is 12 centimeter. The difference in their length is equal to how much more? 2 centimeter. Suppose here I am taking it as 20 degrees Celsius. Suppose if I raise both of them to 100 degrees Celsius, if I am taking both of them to 100 degrees Celsius, now if it is expanded by, the first rod is expanded to, expanded to suppose 14 centimeter, I am assuming. The second rod has to be expanded to, 16 centimeter. So here also delta L is equal to how much more? 2 centimeter. It is the condition. That means if the difference in the length even at 20 degrees Celsius or else even at 100 degrees Celsius, the difference in their length is same. If the difference in the length is same, irrespective of the temperature, the first point what we have to keep in mind is L into alpha is equal to constant. L into alpha is equal to constant. What does it mean? It means that the value of L is inversely proportional to alpha. If alpha value is less, that material initial length is more. And the third one, L1 alpha 1 is equal to L2 alpha 2. It is the third point. And the fourth point, this is the fourth point. The fourth point is how to calculate the value of L1 and L2. It is easy to remember also without the confusion. Here, L and alpha are inversely proportional. So if I want to find out the L1 value, you just take alpha 2 value by alpha 1 minus alpha 2 into delta L. Similarly, if I am calculating value of alpha 2, you can take it as alpha 1 by alpha 1 difference alpha 2 into delta L. And the last point, this is the fifth point. It is the fifth point. So to do this problem, fifth point means if you are taking L1 by L2 is equal to how much more? This is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1. So if you want to find out L1 by L1 plus L2, L1 by L1 plus L2, just take it as L2 by L1. Now it will be L2 by L1 is equal to alpha 1 by alpha 2. Now we add plus 1 on both sides, then we will get this. So these are all the standard forms. Very important. 100% one or two questions should be there. in the weekend, whoever may be the paper setup. Okay. So this is based on let us do some problems. Let us do some problems based on this. Okay. All right. Now, if you see the next slide, let's see the next slide now. See the question. Read the question once. I will give the time to read the question. See here. Two metal rods have coefficient of linear expansion 1.1. It is the coefficient of linear expansion they give. They give the coefficient of linear expansion. So here two metal rods have coefficient of linear expansions 1.1 10 power minus 5 per degree Celsius, 1.65 into this respectively. The difference in their length is 10 centimeter at all temperatures. It is the key point. At all temperatures. So what the question they asked is, they ask you to find out the initial length. So by seeing the question itself, we can eliminate two options. What are the two options we can eliminate means, here if we see alpha 1 and alpha 2 value, as per the question we can say alpha 1 is less than alpha 2. If alpha 1 is less than alpha 2, definitely the initial length should be greater than the final length. So initial length should be greater than the final length. See here it is 100% wrong. It is the 100% wrong option. And if you see this also 100% wrong option. Because here the final length is greater than that of the initial. So out of these two, we have to choose. So what is the formula for length? What is the formula for L1 and L2 values? What are the formulas? What we are using? L1 is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1 difference alpha 2 into delta F. So this is equal to alpha 2 is how much more? 1.65 by don't take 10 power minus 5 here, both will be cancelled out only. 1.65 minus 1.1, 1.65 minus 1.1 multiplied with 10 centimeter. This is equal to 1.65 by 0.55 into 10. So this will be cancelled out 3 times. So answer will be 30 centimeter is the L1. So once you get the 30 centimeter, no need to do the problem. The remaining value, no need to calculate. Directly we can put this is the answer. If two options, two 30s are there, then you can go for the remaining. But for this problem, no need to find out the value of 20. As it is the competitive examination, time factor is most important. Time factor is also very, very, very important only. You should keep in mind that. Right. Next, let's see the next problem. Now see the question here. The ratio of the lengths of an iron rod and aluminum rod for which the difference in their lengths is independent. Already the key point is here. The difference in length is given. next problem. See. The ratio of lengths of an iron rod and aluminum rod for which the difference in the lengths is independent on temperature. The key point they gave already. Difference in the length is independent on the temperature. The difference in the length is independent on the temperature. That is the question they gave. Here see the difference in their lengths is independent on temperature. Is independent on temperature. So immediately what the point you have to keep in mind? The first point what we have to keep in mind is L1 alpha 1 equal to L2 alpha. Direct bit. So coefficient of linear expansion they give. They ask you to find out L1 by L2. This is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1. Alpha 2 how much they give? 24 by 12. That is equal to 2:1. This will be the answer to this problem. Okay. Simple problem only. So the key point is very important here. By seeing the question, we have to search the key point in the physics. Definitely, you will get the answer. Next question. A brass disc fits into a hole in an iron plate. To remove the disc. So here, a brass disc fits into a hole in an iron plate. So iron plate they gave the iron plate. So see here. It is the iron plate. Inside the iron plate, what they said now? Inside the iron plate, they gave a brass disc is fits. So see, it is the brass disc. It is the brass disc. So here, what the point we have to keep in mind is, first one, we have to check out of the brass and iron plate, whose coefficient of linear expansion is more. We know that alpha of brass, that is greater than alpha of iron. I already gave the sequence. That is already aluminum is there, brass is there, iron, steel, invar steel. It is the decreasing order of alpha. It is the decreasing order of alpha. It is the decreasing order of alpha. So if alpha is less, what does it mean? Means the expansion is less during the rise in temperature of the solid, and the contraction is also less during the cooling. So if you heat the system, if you heat the whole system, the expansion of this brass is more than that of the iron plate. So that the disc fixed rigidly to this iron plate, because the expansion of the brass is more than that of the iron. But if you cool the system, what happened is, let's see with one more diagram. If you cool the system, what happened is this is going to be happen. So see, this is going to be happen. I'm not getting clear. So I think this is also not getting clear. Right. So whenever the brass disk, as alpha of brass is greater, as alpha of brass is greater than that of the iron plate, when the system is cooled, when the system is cooled, in that case, in that case, in that case, the contraction of the brass is more than that of the iron plate, so that we can remove the brass disc from the system if the system is cold. If the system is cold. So the sequence is very important. If you know the sequence, it is very easy to answer this type of the question. In the case of the bimetallic strip also, this is sequence we need to follow. In the case of bimetallic strip, the sequence we need to follow. Okay, this is the next one. This is one of the important model we need to follow. The next model is see the next model. No? This is a simple question, basic question only. See here, the ratio of the lengths of the two rods is 4:3. So length of the ratio, the ratio of 4:3. So 4 upon 3. The ratio of the coefficient of cubical expansion. So cubical expansions or else the linear expansions, both are same only. So no problem with that. Then the ratio of the linear expansions. So they are asking about the ratio of the linear expansions. That means delta L of 1 upon the delta L of 2. That is equal to question mark. That is the question mark. When heated through the same temperature difference. So what they said, delta theta of 1 is equal to delta theta of 2. It is the question. Now what the basic formula for us? Delta L is equal to, basic formula is L into alpha into delta theta. It is the basic formula. In the case of this, what they give, delta theta is constant. So as the delta theta value is constant, how to write? So delta L of 1 by delta L of 2 is equal to L1 by L2 multiplied with alpha 1 upon alpha. This is equal to L1 by L2 is how much more they gave? 4 upon 3 multiplied with alpha 1 upon 2 alpha 2, that is 2 by 3. So answer will be 8 upon 9. This is also one of the important model. Simple model only. Clear? Right. Next. Now let us see the next problem. Very important model, percentage problem. Find the increasing temperature of aluminum rod if its length is increased by. Here what they gave is length is increased by 1% they gave, percentage of problems. So what is meant by delta L? Delta L is increase in length of the rod. Delta L is the increase in length of the rod. Then what is delta L by L? This is equal to fractional increase in length of the rod. Then what is delta L by L into 100? This is equal to percentage increase in length of the rod. Percentage increase in length of the rod. Now what the information they gave here? See, here they gave delta L by L into 100, that is equal to how much they gave? 1% means 1 they gave. So from this, what is delta L by L? That is equal to 1 upon 100. Already you know the formula. Delta L by L is equal to how much? Alpha into delta theta. So this implies 1 by 100 is equal to alpha value already they gave. How much? 25 into 10 power minus 6 multiplied with the delta theta. Delta theta, I don't know the value that I want to find. So delta theta is equal to 1 by 100 multiplied with the 25 multiplied with the 10 power minus 6. This is equal to what you will get here. This for our convenience I can take it as 100 into 10 power 4 by 25 into 100. Nothing is wrong. So this will be cancelled out 4 times. Correct? And this also will be cancelled out 2 times. So final answer is how much? 400 degrees Celsius. So finally, the rising temperature of the rod is equal to 400 degrees Celsius. It is the answer. Understood now? Is it okay? So this is percentage of problem is very important. So delta L is change in length. Delta L by L is fractional increase in length. Delta L by L multiplied with 100 is equal to percentage of length. Sir, why should I write the percentage form? Here the information in the question they gave in terms of this only. So that we have to write. Right, next one. Next one. Next problem. See the question. This model is also very important only and very simple only. Let's see here. Two spheres of same size they gave. Two spheres of same size they gave. Here they gave us two spheres of same size. So the information they gave is here two spheres of same size they gave. Same size, made of same material. When they gave the same material, what does it mean? Alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. But one is hollow one, and the other one is the solid one. So one is the hollow one, the other one is the solid one. That is the information they gave. So what does it mean? One is the hollow one they gave. So like this. And the other one is the solid one. So for the solid one means I can take like this. So both are one is the solid one and the other one is the hollow one. So like this, both of the radiuses are same only. This radius, both are same only. Now, if they are heated to the same temperature, the key point to solve this problem, the key point is when they are raised to the same temperature. So when they rise at the same temperature, in the case of the same temperature, what I can say, the expansion is same. The expansion is same because same material they said. Suppose if I am taking the r is the radius of this also having the radius is r only. What is the formula for delta r man? Delta r is equal to formula is r into alpha into delta theta you can take. Here they gave the same size, so I am taking the radius. Nothing is the problem with that. You can take r is constant. Same material is same. And delta theta is also same because the rise in temperature is same. So that the expansion will be same for a hollow as well as solid. So for the hollow and solid, the expansions are same. So that first option is the correct answer. First option is the correct one. Now let's see the next problem. Two spheres of same size they gave. Same size they gave. Same material also. Materials also they gave. And here the important point. Here the important point is same amount of it is supplied. Same amount of it is supplied. So one is the hollow body, the other one is the solid body. If I supply the same amount of it, the rise in temperature of the hollow sphere will be more than that of the solid sphere. So hollow sphere, hollow sphere will expand more than that of the solid. More than that of the solid. Okay. And one problem I would like to share at this point only. That is, suppose if I am taking a thin rod, I am taking a thin rod like this. I am taking a thin rod, and I am taking a thick rod like this. Both are having the same length only. See here, both are having the same length only. Thin rod and thick rod only I am considering. Both of them are having the same length. So this also length is L and this also length is L. But this radius is R1 I am taking. This is the radius is R2 I am taking. If I supply the same amount of heat energy to both of them. So for this also I am supplying Q and for this also I am supplying Q. Then sometimes they will ask a question, what is the ratio of the linear expansion of the rods? So in that case, delta L is directly proportional to 1 upon area. That is directly proportional to 1 upon r square. That is 1 by radius square. This is the important relation. This is the important relation. If I am taking one is the radius of r, the other one is of radius 2r. Both of them are having same alphas. Both of them are having the same length. Then the linear expansion, the ratio of linear expansion of the first rod to the linear expansion of the second rod, that is equal to R2 by R1 whole square. This is equal to 2R by R whole square, that is 4:1. This is the one of the important model. I think these type of the problems can be seen in the weekend examination also this weekend. Okay, is it clear? These 2 points are very important. Next one. Next, this is the very important model. So many times it appeared in the final examination also. That is, when two rods are connected side by side. This is end-to-end connection. End-to-end. This is end-to-end connection. If they are connected end-to-end, if they are connected end-to-end, that technical term is the end-to-end. end to end is there, end to end, or else one more technical term is connected in series, or else one more technical term is if they are connected such that their effective length is the sum of the individual length. In that case, the first formula what we have to keep in mind is alpha effective is equal to L1 alpha 1 plus L2 alpha 2 by L1 plus L2. And second one is the total expansion of this composite rod. The total expansion of this composite rod. Sometimes they will use the technical term composite rod. So the expansion of the composite rod is equal to, you can say one is delta L is equal to delta L of 1 plus delta L of 2. So delta L of 1 is equal to what formula? L1 alpha 1 delta theta plus L2 alpha 2 delta theta. So take out the common of delta theta, then you will get the formula L1 alpha 1 plus L2 alpha 2 into delta theta. In other words, also we can say that the total length is L1 plus L2 alpha effective into delta theta. This is the one of the very important model, most important model. Okay. Now let's see the next problem. Applications based on this. That problem we will see. Now see this question. The ratio of lengths of the ratio of lengths of here see the question. The ratio of lengths of the two rods is 1 is to 2 they give. So what the information they give? L1 upon L2 is equal to 1 upon 2. And the coefficient of linear expansions are alpha 1 alpha 1 alpha 2, that is equal to 2 by 3. The first rod is heated to 60 degrees. That means the rising temperature of the first rod is equal to 60 degrees. Find the temperature through which the second rod is to be heated so that its expansion is twice that of the first rod. So what the information they give? Delta L of the second rod is equal to 2 times the delta L of the first rod. It is the information they give. So what I can take? Delta L of 2 upon delta L of 1. What is the formula? Alpha 2 by alpha 1 into L2 by L1 multiplied with the delta theta of 2 by delta theta of 1. This is the information they give. So delta L of 2 upon delta L of 1 is equal to how much more? That is 2 only. So I can take it as 2 is equal to alpha 2 upon alpha 1, that is 3 upon 2. L2 upon L1 is equal to how much? 2 upon 1. Multiplied with the delta theta of 2, I don't know. This value I need to find. Delta theta of 1, how much they gave me? 60 degrees. So 60 only. So this and this will be cancelled out. This and this will be 20 times. So this implies delta theta of 2, I can get it as 40 degrees Celsius. So please pause the video and try to do the problem by reading the question. And after that only, please try to check the answer. Okay, now? Right. Next one. Next, see the important model now. Very simple only. No need to by heart the formula at all. two metal rods of coefficient of linear expansions alpha 1 and alpha 2 have same length at theta 1 degree Celsius and theta 2 degree Celsius respectively. So here I am taking a rod. This rod is at theta 1 degree Celsius. The length of this rod is L. And one more rod I am considering, that is at theta 2 degree Celsius, but its initial length is also L only. Here, this is made of different material and it is also made of different material. It is the data that give. Now I raise the first rod temperature to theta C, and the second rod temperature is also theta C. Here, the length of the first rod is, I can take it as L dash. Then the length of the second rod is also L dash only. Now my question is, what is the theta C value? It is the question. So if you observe this data, whatever the change in length of the first rod and the change in length of the second rod, both are one and same only. So what is the condition for this is same length. Once again, initial also same length, maybe same area, maybe same volume, same volume. If they gave area instead of alpha, you can take beta. If they gave volume instead of beta, you can take gamma. So what is the condition here? The linear expansion of the first rod and the linear expansion of the second rod, both are same only. So from this, what I can say, their initial lengths are same only. So you can use alpha 1 into theta c minus theta 1 is equal to alpha 2 into theta c minus theta 2. You know, theta c is the common temperature at which the length of the rods again having same value. So based on this, the application that they gave here is C. Initially, I am taking a surface area, same surface area they gave, and they ask you to find out the common temperature at which they have again same surface area. Again, they have the same surface area. So here, instead of alpha 1, what I can take one? Beta 1. So nothing is the problem, you can take alpha 1. Because here alpha only they give, as 2 and 2, they will be cancelled out. So what I can say here, alpha 1 into theta c minus theta 1 is equal to alpha 2 into theta c minus theta 2. So if you substitute the values, so alpha 1 is how much they gave me? 11 into, so 10 power say minus 6 also, it is not 6, it should be minus 6, otherwise you couldn't get the answer. Minus 6, it should be minus 6, printing mistake only, right? Now see here, 11 into theta c value I don't know, minus of theta 1 is how much ma? Here I am taking the steel value, so for the steel value theta 1 is 20. Just you should take the care. Alpha 2 is how much more brass I am taking, so 19 into this also theta c minus theta 1 is brass is how much? 10. So calculate this value. 11 theta c minus 220 is equal to 19 theta c minus 190. So this implies take to this side, then it will be what? 19 minus 11, that is 8 into theta c, that is equal to, I think it is minus 30. Am I correct? Yes, so minus 30, right? So this implies theta c is equal to minus 30 upon 8, minus upon 8. So it will be 15. So I think the 15 and it is 4. So this will be minus of 3.75 degrees Celsius. That means if you cool the bodies to minus 3.75 degrees Celsius, in that condition only they have the same length once again. Once again. This problem already gave once in the NEET examination only. No? Okay, right. Now let's see the next problem. Next problem. Let's see. No? A brass rod and steel rod are both measured at 0 degrees Celsius. So they give the brass rod, they give the brass and they give the steel. Whether it is useful or not, that will be secondary. But the points you know is alpha of brass should be greater than alpha of steel generally. Generally, if you remember the sequence I gave earlier. So their initial lengths both are measured at 0 degrees Celsius only, but this length is they gave as 150 and this length is 150.2 centimeter. Both. So this is happened at 0 degrees Celsius. At what common temperature will their lengths be equal? So they ask you to find out their lengths will be equal at what temperature. The coefficient of linear expansion of the steel and the brass are given. Okay, right. So now let us assume that the length of the brass rod length is LB. LB. What is the formula for LB? L initial value, Li into 1 plus alpha of brass into delta theta. Delta theta means what? Common temperature. That I don't know. Minus 0 value. Similarly, for the steel also, if you take L of C is equal to L initial value. N initial value is how much more? 150.2 into 1 plus alpha of steel up. Okay. Alpha of steel into again it is theta C minus 0. As per the information, as per the given data, what they said now here, their lengths are found to be initial lengths are given and are found to be equal. So what I can see here, LB is equal to LS. So what I can write here, 1.2 into 1 plus alpha for steel how much? 17. Alpha of steel equal to 17, not 17. Steel is 12. So 12 into 10 power minus 6 into theta c is equal to 150 into 1 plus, this is how much they give, 18, multiplied with 10 power minus 6 multiplied with theta c. So here only unknown parameter is what? Theta c is the unknown parameter. That value we have to calculate. Okay. No other option is there. Only calculation part. So this is the very concept is easy, but calculation, well, I think maybe a lengthy calculation. Except that the main thing is okay. Next problem. Next problem see here. When a rod is heated from 25 degrees Celsius to 25 to 75 degrees Celsius. It expands by 1 mm. So what the information they gave me, delta theta they gave me, that is equal to 50 degrees Celsius, and delta L also they gave, that is equal to 1 mm. 1 mm. When rod of same material they gave me, so same material means you can take it as 1 and 1. So alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. But with the 4 times the length, so L2 you can take it as 4 into L1. It's heated from 22. So delta theta of 2 they said, that is equal to 25 degrees Celsius. The increase in the length. So you can substitute like the formula, delta L of 2 by delta L of 1 is equal to, what is the formula? L2 by L1 multiplied with the alpha 2 by alpha 1 multiplied with the delta theta of 2 by delta theta of 1. Okay, ma'am? So this is equal to alpha 2 by L2 by L1 is equal to how much, ma'am? L2 by L1 equal to 4 upon 1 and alpha 2 upon by alpha 1. So both are same material. So you can take it as 1, 1, or you can take it as alpha, alpha. You are not supposed to take this. Okay. So delta theta of 2 is how much more? 25. And this is delta theta of 1 is equal to how much? That is 50. So this will be cancelled 2 times and this will be cancelled 2 times. So you will get 2. So delta L of 2 is equal to 2 multiplied with delta L of 1. Delta L of 1, how much they gave me? 1 only. So 1 mm. So answer will be 2 mm. That will be the answer. Okay. Simple question. Now let's see the next problem. A crystal has a coefficient of expansion 13 to 10 power minus C. Whenever the technical term that is crystal is appeared means it is the anisotropic solid. Anisotropic solids. So in the case of anisotropic solids, the expansions are having the different values. At least the expansion in one direction is varies and the remaining two directions are same. It is also the crystalline solids only. So in the case of this, what they gave is along the one direction, see 13 to 10 power minus 7 per degree Celsius in one direction. So I can take it as alpha x. Alpha x is equal to 13 into 10 power minus 7. And in every direction at right angles to it. That means along y-axis, that is 231 into 10 power minus, along the z-action, this is. So what they give here like this, along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. All these three are mutually perpendicular. Sir, it is won't see, it is not appears to be a 90 degrees, sir. As it is a 3-dimensional, you can't draw it on the 2-dimension. But you know very well, I cap, J cap, K cap, the angle between the two successive vectors is always equivalent to 90. Then those are said to be orthogonal vectors. So if I want to find out here what the question they're asking, cubical coefficient. So gamma equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. Sometimes they will ask a question, what is the average value of alpha? So if you want to find out the average value of alpha y plus alpha z by 3, sometimes they will ask a gamma value. So you can take it as 2 by 3 into gamma. It is also simple problem. 100% every model should be there in the weekend. Same numerical I can't say, but 100% same model should be there in the weekend, whoever may be the paper setter. Okay, next one. I'm giving the time. Please try to read the question. Okay. A cube of edge L and having coefficient of linear expansion alpha is heated by 1 degree Celsius. So here what the information they gave me here? They gave the information that it is heated by 1 degree Celsius. 1 degree Celsius is the rising temperature. So delta theta they gave as 1 degree Celsius. And it is given as a cube. So cube means all the sides are equal only here. So this is the shape of the cube. It is the shape of the cube. So each one is having the length L, L and L. So what is the surface area of the cube? Surface area of the cube means cube has 6 surfaces. Each surface area of cross section is L. So the surface area is equal to 6 into L. It is the surface area. But what the question they are asking here? They asked to find out the surface area increased by. So they asked you to find out the delta A. What is the basic formula for delta A? Delta A is equal to area of cross section into beta into delta theta. This is equal to what is the area of cross section? Surface area only they are asking. So surface area is nothing but 6 into L square into beta. Beta is nothing but what more 2 into coefficient of linear expansion. Generally alpha we are using, but here they are not using alpha. They are using A. So whatever they are using, that only we have to put. So A into delta theta. Delta theta is how much the rising temperature is 1. So that delta A is equal to formula. So 6 into this, so 12 into L square into A. So this is the one of the important. Okay, all right. Next, move on to the next problem. Now this is the point you have to keep in mind. Already we said earlier also. This is the one of the important point here. See, this is the concept only. On heating a wire, if your length increases by X%, then on heating a plate is a two dimension. Plate is a two dimension of the same material through the same change in temperature. Whatever the dimensions may be, the area increases by 2%. Similarly, volume increases by 3%. Now see here, when a thin rod of length L is heated from T1 to T2 degrees Celsius, length increases by 1%. So what the information they gave now? Delta L by L into 100, that is equal to 1 they gave. Now if a plate of length 2L, see here the plate of length is given as 2L and breadth is L. But they are made of same material, heated from the same rising temperature. In that case, the increase in area percentage they are asking. So if this is the formula, it is application. So what I can see here, delta A by A into 100 is equal to 2 into delta L by L into 100. you don't think of the dimensions, whether it is 2L into L or 2L into 2L, 3L into 4L, whatever it may be, the percentage will be 2 into what is the percentage of length of 1. So the answer will be 2%. So don't think of area. Suppose if the dimensions they give like a volume instead of area, if they give the 3 dimension like cube, they give like the dimension they gave as 2L into 3L into 4L like that. Whatever the dimensions may be, if they ask you to find out the percentage of increase in volume, then directly we can say 3 into linear expansion 1%. So answer will be 3%. So don't think of the dimensions here. Don't think of the dimensions here. That is the key point from this. Okay. Right. Now, next, let's move on to the next point. This is a very simple one. You know very well. The coefficient of linear expansion, alpha value is depending on what, ma? Alpha value is depending on nature of the material and the scale of temperature. Which type of the scale of temperature we are using, based on that this is depending. Now see here, alpha value, alpha is equal to 14 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Already you know very well, one division in Celsius scale of temperature equal to how much, ma? 9 by 5 degrees of Fahrenheit. This is the value you know. Or 100 divisions is equal to 180 divisions of Fahrenheit scale of temperature. So this I can take it as 14 into 10 power minus 6 upon 1 division in Celsius is equal to how much? 9 by 5 degrees of Fahrenheit. So if you calculate this value, you will get the answer. Simple question. Next model. See now, when plate with a hole at the center is heated, the size of the hole increases. So already you know that the size will be increased because the expansions. Now see the size now. Here, so this is the expansion will be taken place outside the peripheries like this only. This is the way. So when the expansion taken place from the outside the peripheries of the circle, so that the plate size will be increased. That means the plate size will be increased like this, as well as the size of the hole also will be increased. The size of the hole also will be increased. So like this it will be. So the size will be increased, as well as the plate size also will be increased like this. This is the way. So similarly here also, if you observe, if the distance between this, if your plate is there, in the plate two holes we are having, if the system is heated, the entire plate will be expanded like this. Similarly, each one like this. And this also will be having like this. See, ma? The D1 increases, D2 increases, and separation between these also will be increases. Separation also will be increases. This is the one of the very important theoretical bit. And here this is also theoretical bit. If a ring has a small hole, if the system is heated, all X will be increased, R will be increased, and D also will be increased. This is one of the important thing you have to keep in mind. It's theoretical bit only this. Now, let's see the next one. Let's see the next one. A blacksmith fixes iron ring on the rim of the wooden wheel. So here I'm taking a wooden wheel. I'm taking a wooden wheel. So I'm taking the wooden wheel. Now I'm taking a ring initially. This is the ring I am considering. It is the ring only. Can I place the ring over the wooden wheel? No, it is not possible at all. No, it is not possible. So this is the wooden wheel only. It is the wooden wheel only. And it is the ring only. It is the ring. So here see, the iron ring is having, it is given as diameter. So diameter of the ring they gave as 5.243. Whereas this 5. The diameter of the rim and the ring are. Rim they gave as how much? Okay. Ring they gave as 5.231 they gave. 5.231 they gave. 5.231 they gave. they give, and it has 5.243 they give. Okay. Suppose if I want to place the ring over this wooden wheel, so what should I do? I have to supply some amount of heat energy. If I supply some amount of heat energy has to be supplied to this. If I supply the heat energy, what happen? The radius and diameter of the ring also increases. So I have to raise the temperature of the ring in such a way that the radius of the ring is slightly greater than it is slightly greater than, like this. I can take like this, slightly greater than the wooden cart. That means the final length of the ring should be this. The initial length of the ring is this. I want to find out the temperature at which the diameter of the ring changes from 5.231 to 5.243. So which formula I have to go for more? You can go for the formula L2 is equal to L1 into 1 plus alpha into T2 minus T1. This is the formula. L2 is what? The final length. What is the final length? 5.243. L1 is what? 5.231 into 1 plus alpha value. Alpha value they gave is 1.2 into 10 power minus 5 multiplied with rising temperature, final value minus initial value. Calculation only, remaining part is simple only. So this is the wooden cart. Iron ring is fixed to the wooden cart. For this type of the problem, you have to raise the temperature of the ring so that it is the diameter of the ring is nearly the diameter of the ring is equal to just greater than the diameter of this wooden cut. Then it will be cooled so that the iron ring will be rigidly fixed with the wooden cut. So that is the application of the thermal expansion only. Thermal expansion, right? Next model. Next model, let us see. An aluminum bar has some length at 20 degrees Celsius. How much stress is required to keep it at the same length if the temperature is increased to 40 degrees Celsius? So an aluminum has some length. So if they gave aluminum, so they gave aluminum. See my here. They gave aluminum. So this is the aluminum. I'm taking as aluminum bar. So initially it is at temperature 20 degrees Celsius. Initially, how much stress is required to keep it at the same length if the temperature increases? Even though the temperature increases, but the length remains same. That means this has to be fixed between the two rigid supports. That means thermal stress concept has to be applied here. So if you apply the thermal stress, what is the formula for thermal stress? F by A is equal to Y into alpha into delta theta. So Y is Young's modulus they gave. Alpha value also they gave. So 25 into 10 power minus 6 multiplied with final temperature minus initial temperature, that is 20. So thermal stress unit is Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. So whenever you want to apply the concept of thermal stress, the body has to be fixed between the two rigid supports. This body has to be, that means the rod has to be fixed between the two rigid supports. Then apply the, whenever you supply the heat energy, there is a force that is acting on the rigid supports. If I am taking this action, the rigid support also will exert a force on this rod that we call as thermal stress. Okay, all right. A rod of length L having coefficient of linear expansion alpha by lying freely on the floor. See my here, it is lying freely on the floor. Freely on the floor. It is heated so that the temperature changes by delta theta. Find the longitudinal strain developed. So longitudinal strain developed is equal to 0 because it is kept freely. If it is kept freely, the longitudinal strain will be equal to 0. Okay, simple question. Right. Next one. This is the bimetallic strip. So to solve the problems based on the bimetallic strip, that a sequence is important. That is aluminum, brass, again copper, iron. At least a few values you should keep in mind one. Then steel is there. After that inverse steel. Inverse steel is having almost all. Alpha is nearly equal to 0. That means the length of the inverse steel is independent on the temperature. The sequence is very important to do some of the problems based on the bimetallic strip also. So in the case of the bimetallic strip, already you know that this is the bimetallic strip. Whenever you heated the bimetallic strip, the alpha value more is on the convex side. Alpha value is on the convex side. Suppose if you take the brass and steel, as you know that brass is having the higher value of alpha than that of the steel value. So whenever the system is heated, the convex side will be brass, and which will have the more bending. More bending will means lesser radius will have the more bending. So in this case, steel has the more bending than that of the brass. Bending nature. See, ma, if this is the circle, this is the curve, and one more curve I am taking like this. Out of these two, which will have the more bending, if anyone asks, what we can say the bending nature is more for this circle because the radius is less. So for the radius lesser value, it is having the more bending nature. And if you see this, what you will observe, what you will observe here, it is the brass and steel. So brass is on the convex side means it is having the lesser bending. So the bending nature is lesser. Bending nature is lesser for the brass, and bending nature is more for the steel. Okay, this bending nature is important. And the radius of curvature of the bimetallic strip is inversely proportional to the rising temperature. It is inversely proportional to 1 by alpha 1 difference of alpha. Here, D is the thickness of the each bimetallic strip. Each bimetallic strip. This is the explanation I gave. This is the one of the very important example. To do a problem based on this. Convex surface is different and bending nature is different. So problems, while solving the problems, we should take more care on this. Okay. Right. Next problem. See, a bimetal, a bimetal made of copper and iron strips. So one is the copper strip they give, no? The other one is the copper one. The other one is the copper one and iron. So if you see alpha of copper is greater than alpha of iron as per the sequence which I give. It is held vertically so that the iron strip is toward the left side, left hand, and the copper strip is toward the right hand. So what they said, ma? It is held vertically so that iron strip is toward the left side. Iron strip is toward the left side, they said. Now see here, the bimetallic strip is heated. So it is held vertically so that iron strip is toward the left. So this is the iron. It is the iron strip. Copper strip is toward the right side. So this is the copper. It is the iron, and it is the copper. The bimetallic strip is heated. The bimetallic strip will bend. So whenever it is heated, you know already this. What you know, alpha of copper is greater than this. So this will be on the convex side. So this is the nature. It is the nature. So this will be on convex side, copper, and it is on, so that it bends toward the left side, bending toward the left side. Next one. If a bimetallic strip is heated, it is the MTF model problem. If a bimetallic strip is heated, it will bend toward the metal with the lower thermal expansion coefficient. Just now I said, if the radius is less, it has more bending nature. Radius is less, it has more bending nature. Heated, whenever the bimetallic strip heated, which will be on the convex side, the metal whose coefficient of linear expansion is more is on the convex side. That means it has bending nature is less. So which will have the more bending nature? The value of alpha, whose value is lesser, it has more bending nature, where the student will feel difficult to understand this. So if you understand the earlier point which I said, that is, if radius is less, it has more bending nature, more bending nature. So more bending nature means what, ma? More bending nature means what? Alpha value should be less. In which case, these are all the conditions are satisfied in the case of heating the system. Heating the system. This is very important. Okay, right. So the remaining problems we will see tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Thank you. The rest of the problems I will solve and again I will post tomorrow.